Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for Leicester's version of the preview to the new season. What's to be expected from Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City this season? I've got Chris from Leicester and Brad from Leicester Till I Die TV. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, doing good, thanks, mate.
Yeah, not too bad, buddy. Good to be back after a bit of a holiday.
Wicked. So
You've been away for like 3 months, mate.
make sure to smash a like on the video as always. Make sure to subscribe as well, and yeah, we'll get this ball rolling. So last season, great season, I think, for you guys. Obviously winning the FA Cup, just missing out on Champions League football, but I think you all said at the end of the season the FA Cup was meant more to you than just finishing fourth. So like, how did you sum up like the season in a whole from last season?
Better than yours.
All right, fucking hell, it's been nice.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
You have to
So,
just sum
okay.
it up. I mean, for me, I'm obviously can't speak for Brad, but for me, it was fantastic. But you know, with Leicester fans, our expectations are probably a lot less than the Man United, the Arsenal, the Spurs, and I'm not going to dig there, but they are. And for me, fifth in the FA Cup is another fantastic season. Yeah, we missed out on the Champions League again for the second season running in the last week, but you know, I'm happy with fifth in Europa League. This is Leicester, for God's sake. You know, recently we've been bust twice down to the third tier, so you know this is all great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like living the high life at the minute. I mean, how is it for you, Brad? How did you sum it up for yourself?
I'm still delighted now, to be honest with you, mate. Yeah, sure. The last day didn't go to plan. Chelsea did their part, we didn't do ours. But at that point, we really kind of were happy to get an extra bonus on top of winning the FA Cup. That's something that's been the itch that Leicester couldn't scratch since the day they were formed. You know, four attempts beforehand, finally the itch is scratched. And Leicester are a club that has been noted quite well over the last 3 or 4 seasons, I'd probably say, to be a progression club. You know, all this talk over the years when I've been growing up that sides like Everton and Southampton and West Ham were going to be the club that cemented themselves among the big boys. They're still up there, but Leicester have done now what is the basic requirement of trying to break up what the media delude as the Big Six, where you've got to get back-to-back European football. Well, in other occasions where that's happened, maybe it's because of one, we've seen over the years that clubs have won other competitions, which is why they've played in the higher European bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Not disagreeing with it. They took advantage of what was there in front of them. Can't argue against it. Fair play. Any team would in their situation. But we'd already secured Europe before that final as well. So we was already guaranteed to match last year's target of European football again. And I would be happy with a similar that's in same stature or a matching of the one we've just had.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it'd be difficult for maybe Leicester to maybe top last season for you guys. I think probably the main target for you is, would you say, if you offer it again, say you offer it again this season, you've got FA Cup or top 4, would you still go for the FA Cup now you've won one, or would you still try and now go for top 4?
It's a trophy. But
Okay.
then I'm not looking at it from a financial aspect, say like the owners are. You know, the financial package you get as being in the Champions League, obviously, to the clubs at the moment, is worth a hell of a lot. For me, as a fan, I've seen us in the Champions League. Whether we're going to win it or not is what I got married in static. It's you know, I've seen us in the Champions League. Will we ever go on and win the Champions League? I mean, who knows? We said that about the Premier League, but no, I've sooner win the FA Cup, get in the Europa League, and I think we could win the Europa League.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Do I sound this far away?
Maybe a little bit.
Hang on. I'm going to come out and back in again.
Yeah, try that one. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you're looking at that point of view. Probably is the better option, maybe for Leicester to try and go for a trophy. I mean, Champions League is great and all that, but
There's no shame in
it's
saying
like,
you're double FA Cup winners if that's the offer you're giving me, Steve. That's what I'd say.
well, look, yeah, I mean, but
You're
are you going to
already,
win
you're
it?
already
If you
there.
qualify for Champions League this season, would you then go on and win it?
No,
Chances are no.
I think if you're going to continue the progression, no matter how ambitious, no matter how deluded it might sound, but if you say natural progression, and let's just use that term so people kind of don't think I'm getting carried away. I'm just saying natural trajectory of how Leicester are not just competing in the top 6, but they're now starting to show a bit of mental to get to finals. All right, they got knocked out in the semi-finals against Villa in the League Cup last year, but they've bounced back and won the FA Cup. If Leicester can keep that sort of trend, I'm happy for us to get 5th and a trophy. And I would say, let's see how far we can go in Europa League. Let's really show we can hold it, because you've got to pass their training first. You know what I mean? You've got to hold your own in Europa League. Maybe I was being a bit selfish when it got to a point where the FA Cup and the Europa League were kind of round about the same stages. And I was kind of thinking, I'd like us to go for Europa League, because regardless of where we finish in the league, it's still a European trophy. I would be very much leaning towards, if you said to me, go for a competition, I'd like to see our progress in Europa League this season, see how we can do and see if we can get the league position.
Yeah, I think also, I think just reading this here, I think Leicester's aim is perhaps Europa, especially now they've won FA last season and top 4 basically seems close with us, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Do you feel that in the sense this season with those teams that top 4 is just going to be sort of fought out between them 4, or do you feel
Not
like you can cause a
necessarily.
real? Do you feel you can really disturb the apple cart with that?
Well, why not? I mean, if we go back, I'm not having a dig here, Stephen. Honestly, I'm not. But if we go back 4 seasons or so, you'd have included Arsenal in that group. So there's nothing to say that those 4 clubs are going to do, and Tottenham. Tottenham were in the top 4 for many seasons on the trot. Where were they this season? So there's nothing to say that. Man United have re-signed a manager that's never won them anything. So they're going to be perennial, finishing second and getting to the far as the semi-finals and then bottling it. So, there's no reason. There's no
subtly
reason.
firing shots here.
Sorry?
You're subtly firing shots here.
no, but it's true. It's true. People say that Brendan bottled it. Well, Ollie bottled it big, huge time last season. So, Jurgen, he bottled it. You can't blame what happened to Liverpool. He had a team and pretty much that walked the Premier League the season before and bloody shitting it this season. And we're lucky they got in on the last game of the season. So these big so-called in their own minds big teams do kind of think that they're going to be in the top 4, but not necessarily. And if one of those does actually fall, ourselves, West Ham, are going to be waiting. Anthony, would I have a dig? Would I have a dig?
He's digging our grave already.
I'm just saying that, and I say, the same could be said about Tottenham. Go back 3 or 4 seasons, and you would have included you in that one.
There you go. Look, I think the chat's going to start coming down on Chris now.
No, I mean,
everyone thinks that
somebody tell me that Ollie is not a bottler. He came in.
You've got a point.
He followed a poor manager, in fairness, for Man United.
He's more of a bottler than he is on Arteta. Arteta's won something.
That's true. That is true. But I can say, what has Ollie won? He came in, he had a couple of good months when he stabilised the team. As soon as they gave him a contract, then it went downhill. He's
That's
turned
turned
it
into a Man
round,
United debate.
but he's a bottler. He's as much a bottler as Brendan is. And as much as the Man United fans want to shit the pants in the chat and say, say that that's what it is, sorry, they bottle it. Bye, Maze.
Hi, Maisie.
This is the problem with the fans. A lot of the fans of. I mean, I'm having a chat with Luca and another Chris, two Arsenal fans on Thursday about what's happened to Arsenal. I mean, Luca is going to be worth watching just to see me wind up Luca.
I could jump in if you want.
I'm sure I can take on 3 Arsenal fans. But the question that I'm asking there,
you might need a bit of realism in there.
Well, this is it. But you've got to accept that. Yeah, come back to me, Man United fans, when you've actually won something recently.
Well, that was a show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Forrier news at 10.
Yeah, Brad. Yeah. So, what do you make of it? Do you feel like
follow that, Brad,
there to try and disturb the top? What looks like to be like everyone's talking about City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United fighting out themselves for their own title race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Like I said, all the arrows point in the right direction when you look at Leicester as a club, how they're being ran, how they're progressing, and the nature of their niche work in the transfer market. It's taken work and it's taken patience. And there's been a few times when maybe a few Leicester fans lost their nut a little bit, that no transfers are coming in or we're taking ages to get deals come over the line. I've been guilty as charged. I didn't think much to £1 million for a certain striker who's like 34 and one of the best in the Premier League. But I can at least hold my hands up and say that without saying his name. I'm not saying it. I'm not admitting it. But, it's just on a club on a whole. They're the ones to progress, but they're not without the competition. And I think that's what I've really enjoyed this season. Being a neutral, being someone that's always supported Leicester because they seem to be the underdog, and I didn't understand why anyone at my school didn't support their as local team as possible in the Premier League at the time. So I picked Leicester while all my mates were Liverpool fans, and it's just one of them where I think there's teams like that around that it's good to see, like Southampton and Everton, that kind of have that same, maybe a bit of a feel of a fan base, and sometimes a bit popular in the eye of the neutrals, that need to keep driving forward and go off it. Because I'd like to see not just one of the top 6 be completely dismantled, but I think football could use a couple more teams like ourselves to keep progressing and keep going the way we are, which is why a lot more faith has been shown by consistency at the club in some form or another. They've been consistent.
I think a lot of people look to Leicester as like the model club, like the club that how you should.
And we're still getting away with the transfers, by the way. If you look at our 3 transfers when we get to
your 3 transfers are quality, right?
Yeah, we don't spend 100 million or allegedly 100 million pounds on trying to for one player to try and buy the trophy.
Oh fuck. Enjoy it, White lost, Chris.
Well, I'm just stating, we haven't got 100. We haven't got 100 million to go out and pay on one player. We haven't got. Munsey. What have we won? What have we won? What have you won since Alex Ferguson left you? And one FA Cup. That's a tin pot. When you won it, then obviously
the Shield, the FA Cup, and the Europa League.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the League Cup and the Europa League. Sorry, that's what they did. Arteta bottled every single thing possible last season. FA Cup, 8th place, Premier League. We know we were in the Premier League fights. You can't really say that. So the semis Europa League and semis of the Carabao Cup. Well, yeah, that actually was quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Actually,
she's got it in for you, hasn't she?
No, she loves. She loves digging my grave. Trust me.
Static. Brad is actually a co-host on my channel. He does all the post-match shows and a lot of he stands in on a lot of others. It's just he had furlough leave for about 5 months.
Fair play to Rodgers. He actually won a trophy, something Leicester craved. But is he going to need to do any better? That's the question.
The thing is, right?
That's
okay,
a good question.
You say, will he do any better? As a Leicester fan, and Brad in fairness could probably disagree, well, may well disagree with me here, but we remember where we came from. You know, Man United fans, a lot of their fans that have grown up knowing nothing but success. You know, I remember Man United when they won the odd FA Cup every 3 or 4 years because Liverpool was so dominant. But under Ferguson, they did really well. We're Leicester. We've been down to the 3rd tier. We've gone out of business twice, nearly 3rd time. You know, we've had the bad years. You know, we've seen some rubbish teams, haven't we, Brad? You know, at Leicester when we were in that 2nd tier.
Yeah.
So to us, the fact that if we don't win anything next year, but say finish 6th and get into the Europa again, that won't be a bad year for us because we've got to remember where we came from. And that's the problem with a lot of fans. They forget where they've come from. Solo's just said there, he knows how it feels because he's been Swanham since 85. You know, to me, success is getting into Europe. You want to progress, but yes, we may well have hit the ceiling because the teams that were above us, the teams that were above us,
he's prepared them. He fucking prepared them for later. he's prepared them for Thursday.
No. I think there just in case. So no, you know, we can't compete with Man City. We can't compete. We can't pay 78 million for Sancho. We could never have paid 80 million for Maguire. Man United, Man City, Chelsea, they're a league above us, and we know that. If we get in, it means somebody's going to have to drop out and have a bad season. But to me, like I say, if we don't win anything next year, it's not the end of the world. Man United fans, Arsenal fans, they'll all be crying in the soup if they don't win anything next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Leicester will finish hard on Arsenal. Well, that's expected. It's more expected now that we're supposed to finish lower.
If you trust the process, it might come good.
Get lost. Honestly, you've got Man City as like your first sort of glorified friendly, shall we say, the Community Shield. Is that something you're looking forward to as a tester to see where you are at the start of the season, or is it something that you just need to use to like kick off your season? Because essentially you can have like a kick off to an early start to try and maybe build some momentum.
I think personally, for any Leicester fan that's been keeping an eye on not just the results of the pre-season, which some fans still swear by as a sign, but look at the way that Leicester have gone about their pre-season. You know, I was unfortunately not able to do the post-match for today's game on Leicester Till I Die with Chris because my phone was messing up. But I watched the QPR game and I've kept an eye on or watched the majority of our friendlies. And if you know the fact that the way we've rotated and prepared for our, you know, our pre-season is about getting the whole entire squad fit. You know, we've definitely, you know, seen what injuries can do to a club's form, as well as performances on a pitch when they've had injuries hinder and hit them so hard over the last 2 seasons. And I think by the time the Community Shield comes around, you'll kind of see Leicester make their strongest 11 or 15 players come out over that game in sub-appearances and a formation change. I think that'll be like the last. They'll teach that as the last pre-season in the heads, but obviously, ideally, Leicester start the season if they can get a result against Man City. Silverware. That's how it'll get marked down, and that's what Leicester need to also be looking for.
Static said earlier, have we ever won the Community Shield? Yes, we did.
Yes.
Actually, in the 1970s.
Mhm.
The thing is, let's have a look at this. All these pre-seasons. I mean, they never years ago. Maybe they meant something for certain clubs, and again, I'm talking about the so-called big clubs. For them, pre-season is about normally, not the last couple of seasons, obviously, but normally flying off to the Far East. Although they complain they've got too many games, but they fly off to the Far East where they play 5 or 6 games to get money. That's all it is for the big clubs, money. Pre-seasons, you can have an awful pre-season, and yeah, Anthony, right, whatever.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yes, I know it is. Yeah, it's in his dreams. He's having a wet dream. Is Anthony?
Yeah.
Pre-seasons literally are fitness. Madison said there's nothing like having a pre-season game. In fact, I can quote you: nothing recreates game minutes, and that is what pre-season's about. For you guys, it's normally about going Far East America, wherever, to raise money, get shirt sales, and do all that. It doesn't matter. You can lose every game and still have a fantastic season, or you can win every game and then absolutely bomb out. Leicester have done it. So pre-season's pre-season. It's there for a bit of fun and just to let us in.
I would also say it's like a sort of marker to see where you are as a team and how things are. I would say this whole Madison thing where he's going to Arsenal, he's going to Leicester, or whatever. If
Going
he
to
say
Leicester.
He did, if
Well,
he's
he was
staying
at
at Leicester,
Leicester.
sorry, yeah, you're staying at Leicester, sorry. If he goes, what sort of impact would that be if he decided to go to Arsenal? Just that coincidence. Not saying he will.
I mean,
Just saying.
you can't deny, the rumours have been around for a while, and if he was to leave, he would be a miss. But there is something that's kind of gone under the radar, which you probably haven't noticed unless you've seen any Leicester City blog sites. When you read some of the players that we actually have at our squad, if you really think about it, he's probably one of my least concerning out of the top 3 names that spring to mind of who Leicester fans do not want to see leave. Like, we cannot lose one of these players, I'd be worried, sort of thing. And for me, Madison's probably 3rd on that list, maybe 4th. I think we've got more cover that's more than capable of doing the role that Madison gives to us if we was to lose him. It'd still be a big loss, though, because he on his day, he can win you a game. So it'd just be a counterbalance to what he can do on occasion to what someone can do regularly.
Yeah, he's a game changer, and when he's been coming back from his latest injury, and no players have looked brilliant when they've just come back from injury. Look at Virgil van Dijk the other day, because it takes a while to get back in, and he hasn't probably got fully back to his potential. But if you're going to have Madison on from the start or bring Madison on later, bring him on later, because he can come on and change a game. But I agree with Brad. And I've said this myself, Tillemans, Ndidi, Madison, if one of them's got to go, then, yeah, I would say Madison. But he's just had a baby, so whether he wants to settle or not, the only thing I can see with him wanting to go to Arsenal, and this is what gets me about most Arsenal fans, is the attitude that he's chomping at the bit to get, because it's Arsenal. Arsenal have registered an interest, so he must want to come. Why? Why must he want to come to Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I get with a lot of fans. And I'm like, you may not notice, mate.
It's
we're
London.
Not a big club.
He's a playboy. It's London. I grant you that's going to be an attraction. But it could be. He could get that at Fulham. He could get that at Leyton Orient. They're about as good as Arsenal at the moment. But it's this. Yeah. He'll walk over broken glass barefoot to come to you guys. That kind of irks with me. But I agree totally with Brad. He is probably. We've always got Perez, haven't we, Brad?
All right, you can have him as well. We'll chuck him in.
No, keep him if we let Madison go. We've got to keep Perez.
No, we've got Dennis Pratt and Kieran Dewsbury Hall, and amongst others. I'm more than
Unfortunately,
happy to,
mate, I think Pratt is almost gone. I don't think
well,
we'll see him.
that's
I shame. I
unfortunate.
want to, but yeah.
Well, Dewsbury Hall didn't go a lot wrong in the game against QPR for me.
He's
I think
fantastic
that's
player.
fair.
Fantastic player. I agree 100%.
Now, if you're talking Yuri Tillemans, then it's just going to dump out the bottom end, mate, because I'm scared to lose him. He's the one I'm most scared about to lose. If you want to play that, did get me a bit worried when I heard the Liverpool rumours, because that's, for me personally, I think it's perfectly viable, especially if you consider the rumours that Jordan Henderson is wanting out of the club for some reason. I don't know where that sparked from or how that sparked up, but that was a rumour that was floating around for a little bit.
I don't want to do a bit of self-promotion here, but if you want to know what is probably really happening with Tillemans and Maddison, is check out Leicester Till I Die's YouTube site and check out the Fabrizio Romano video we did, because I asked him about Tillemans and I asked him about Maddison to Arsenal as well. It wasn't that funny. Whoever laughed in the background.
Yeah, excuse me. That's my family and the dog who just let bark and bark and bark and bark and bark when he ever sees the cat. Anyway, Chris must be so confident of finishing above Arsenal again with Fast FC.
You don't know what's going to happen, King. You just don't know.
Let's keep the Albanian Titanic as he has scored his only goal for the season today. Ouch. I do prefer not to use their nationality into it if you cannot, please. That's like, try and keep it respectable. I watched your interview with Fabrizio. I mean, what did Fabrizio say about it? Because, I didn't get a chance to catch it. But
well, to be honest, if I told you that, nobody would go and watch the video, would they?
Oh, come on! You can't give us a little sneak peek.
Who do you want to know? I'll give you a bit of a clue of whether you want Yuri or Maddison, which I think I might know what you say here.
You can't admit he is coming. That's why.
No, what he's actually said is, and we don't know. And I tell you what, if Maddison's going to go, I'll say thank you, good luck to him, go. But as I say, it's the attitude of Arsenal fans that he must want to sort of, slide on his arse down to get there because it's Arsenal. Negotiations haven't even opened yet. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that's the point.
I think what's not helped the situation either is literally just as Arsenal go, oh yeah, so big reveal, we are actually interested in Maddison because we're needing a player desperately now. We kind of thought Odegaard would join us. You've then turned around and done that, and then Maddison obviously has a child, and everybody goes into mass panic, and the media inflate it even more over like as many hours as they could, only to find out the real reason that Maddison wasn't playing against QPR in his friendly is because he had other important things to attend to, like the birth of his child.
Mel, you can ask Mel. I gave Mel an honest answer as to why. Why she messaged me and said, like, there's no Maddison in the squad. And I went, apparently he went down to London with the bus, but he's sort of he's off to the Emirates to have a chat. If I say she believed me, I wouldn't be far off the mark.
And look, let's just put it this way: is that the media, I mean, I put it in F1's sense. I mean, the media after the whole incident at Silverstone, even you saw after qualifying, they try and milk it again. They milk the whole situation again. It's like, oh, your rivalry. What happens if you go to turn one side by side, or are you going to take each other out? This, that, and all the other. And even the drivers, even Max Verstappen, just went, "Can you just stop the shit now? We've moved on. We're racers. Stop the shit." They milk everything. They milk everything they can.
There's so many newspapers. There's so many online websites. It's news. You got 24-hour sports news now, for God's sake. And I can remember when we won the Premier League.
Bullshit.
I watched Sky throughout the night. Why? Because every hour it was exactly the same news, just reread. But every hour I saw us win the Premier League. But they've got to fill it with something. They've got to fill the back pages. And how much of it is clickbait? You go into our local paper now, and it's rubbish.
This is why now people. I honestly tell people if you're gonna literally read everything that's coming out of Arsenal, Leicester, or any of these clubs, you are dumb, right? You are dumb. Follow certain journalists that are reliable sources of information that usually got things right in the past. Fabrizio Romano, Chris Charles Watts gets things right. Ornstein gets things right. I'm just naming Arsenal one that I know of. Wheatley might get stuff right as well. They're reliable sources. Don't go to the fucking papers and your nearest website saying, "Oh look, he was spotted down in a restaurant in London." What's that got to do? He might be out for a family meal.
Yeah, my sister's cousin's next door neighbour, 3 doors down, Doris's pet dog went out for a walk with Aubameyang at Leicester. So it's all happening, mate. Breaking news. Aubameyang says he's dog at Leicester.
Patrick, who do you support? Because obviously you were tuning into the Formula One earlier, which was good to see. Why would you join Arsenal if Leicester are a better team? That is a good point. I mean, Leicester are a better team. I'm not denying it. Arsenal are shit. They are shit. And
I think the thing is, though,
struggling as it is.
I think until the next probably 5 seasons, and I think it will be a minimum of 5 seasons that a club like Leicester needs to keep this consistency up for, is no matter how much Leicester do, unless the success succeeds expectation, and not just like the one-off where we did it with the Premier League and we were the better team out of all the other 19 teams in there. Calling something like that a fluke is just beyond me. We've got to keep this consistency up for 5 years because there will still be some players that get sold on the mentality of, but it is Arsenal. That will still be the mentality, no matter how long their title drought, FA Cup drought is for. You're not ever going to be told, "Oh, go to Leicester if you want Champions League football," until at least 5 more years of consistency from it. People may think more as well. It is just what it is, but that's the task in hand. And Leicester, at the moment, out of the clubs you could think of at the moment, are the ones that are grabbing the ticket, going, "All right, we'll take the next level."
Shall I tell you what the biggest advert for players coming to Leicester or staying at Leicester was? And that was the post-match celebrations for the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And the family that they always talk about. I mean, I know they say to a point some of these, not the post-match, but like when they do videos at their own training ground, etc., it's a little bit, some say, "Oh, it's all scripted." It's a little bit put on for show, a little bit. But brand new signings aren't getting this script handed to them and told that's what they've got to say. They're saying this off their own back off one training session or a few hours with the lads. So it just rings, seeing it all the way through is something that's also very, you know what you're getting is not false from what you're hearing when you hear these interviews. Compared to some of us, granted that's more when they go abroad, maybe it just sounds a bit.
So if you get a Maddison, then we'll have Saka in return.
Fuck off.
Well, exactly. I rest my case. Why wouldn't Saka want to come to Leicester? He will win things at Leicester, but I'm not. And that is that. Okay, I mean that is very, very tongue in cheek. Okay, that is tongue in cheek. But why should we say, yeah, you can have one of our best players, and as soon as we mention having one of yours or your only best player, you go fuck off? It works both ways.
Yeah,
we don't get a lump of coal, right? We don't get a lump of coal.
He's thriving with everything that's with a Haaland and with Arsenal at the minute. So the last thing he needs to do for his career is go from Arsenal because he's established himself in that team and he's not ready to go yet for me. That's different. Maddison is already built up as a top player, right? So he can go and do it at another club. I think Saka needs to prove himself more at Arsenal yet before he's ready to go on to do bigger things.
We like.
If he was going to leave, that is.
I was going to say we like him young, but I mean that sounds very pervy.
Yeah, don't repeat that, please. Don't repeat that.
No. But we prefer to take the players that are still breaking through. I mean, look at the players we signed. We signed Fofana. We signed Daka. They're all youngsters that we will go out and take a risk on and pay 20 million, 30 million for. Because, like I said before, and I say a lot of what I'm saying is tongue in cheek, but you know, it's got a meaning behind it. But you know, we can't afford to go and buy a Sancho. We can't afford to go and buy a Grealish, but we go and buy them at 20, 30 million. And then you guys come along and offer us 60, 70, 80 million. And we go, thank you very much. Doesn't make us a selling club. It makes us a good business club.
I just saw actually your advertisement actually for your show. You upcoming show could be worse. You could be an Arsenal fan. You twat.
Hey,
you're a great actor, aren't you?
You know, I honestly think. Well, I did a poll on my Twitter recently, and it was like, who are the most disillusioned fans?
Also,
and I've got to be honest with you. You know, actually, Tottenham won it, I do believe, but Arsenal.
yeah,
you know, Arsenal were not so far behind. They were second. But
worse than your Spurs were deluded into thinking they'd already won it.
Disqualified. Is that the case? He is actually disqualified. I thought that was coming.
Sorry, Stat. I'm laughing. I'm ahead here. I'm laughing at what Static's saying.
Yeah.
Daka was about 30 million, I think, wasn't he, Brad?
Oh, no, I don't think it was 30 million. I think it was 25 million. It might be add-ons that might take it to 30, but I'm pretty sure
around that.
Sorry, I'm just gonna have to interrupt this just a little bit because it is to do with F1, which is also part of the channel. Breaking news: Sebastian Vettel has been disqualified from the Hungarian Grand Prix, losing his second place in the race. Stewards were unable to acquire the 1 litre of fuel needed for a sample following the end of the race, which saw a number of drivers pull off to the side to save fuel. So that means that Hamilton will move up to second to get in 18 points, not 15. Vettel, in terms of the title race, Verstappen will then go to 10th from 9th. That's an extra point, which means Hamilton will gain an extra 2 points of him in the championship and an extra 2 points for Mercedes in the championship. So it makes 8 points for Hamilton in the title fight going into Belgium in 3 weeks' time.
Will Vettel get Verstappen get more though? Did you say?
He gets an extra point. He only gets an extra point though, so Hamilton gains even more on Verstappen in that race. I'm just gonna actually just quickly, because Hamilton had to be referred to a doctor at the end of the race because he was physically exhausted.
Yeah.
After the race, he was struggling to get up on the podium. Yes, Hamilton sent to the doctor following for fatigue and dizziness after a dramatic Hungarian Grand Prix, and there were some dickheads thinking that he was faking it, and it's put on.
You're always going to have annoying people.
Oh no! Then there's someone on a particular channel who then Then there's someone on a particular channel that decides while he's getting racially abused after the accident with Verstappen, he called out on stream saying he's a fucking gremlin, a disgusting creature. Make that what you will. On the stream.
That's mental.
Yep.
Like that,
and I know exactly who it is. And they want to call me a racist. Big up to anyway. King Tony, we have a squad of full keepers as it is. Hey, smash the likes. King Tony Runnison, lol. Yeah, we got. Yeah, do you want Runnison instead? Yeah, can we have cash for Marco and you take one?
Only if you take Perez.
Okay. He's that shit. I'll have him. At least it sorts our keeper situation out.
Yeah, don't mess that up, Chris. What are you doing making trades for it? We'll just give you Perez. That's our gift to you.
I mean, we'll drive him down there, mate. You know, you don't even have to come and get him.
Oh, what? It's a free delivery, is it?
For Perez, yes. In fact, we don't want anybody. We don't want, you know. Again, you talk about online abuse. I mean, we lost our first
Seriously?
I'm just promoting my show while I'm on yours, Stephen. Thursday, 9:30. Leicester till I die. How bad has it been?
He takes no measures, does he?
Mate, it's bad enough as it is without you fucking rubbing it in.
I'm asking. You know, I am the Jeremy Kyle of the of the YouTube pages.
Jesus Christ!
You've got to have a snappy title.
Oh Jesus Christ! So we just
like a snappy title.
So we just submit to a hearing now to see if you should be still aired on allowed to be aired on YouTube.
When all the Arsenal fans sort of like, you know,
mate, it's depressing enough without Leicester fans rubbing it in.
Hey, we've had to wait like, you know, a few hundred years for these times.
Yeah,
you've only had it for a couple of years,
yeah,
mate.
You must know a couple of hundred of them, can't you?
Hey.
True, true.
We're starting to make this Wembley feel as at home as the other Wembley, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I'll go on.
By the way, Stephen, what are you doing on Saturday?
On Saturday?
Yeah.
On Saturday? This Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm away.
Oh, yeah. Funny thing is, I'm in London at the at Wembley watching
I'm not in London, though,
the Community Shield. You know,
I'm on holiday.
I know, but I just thought I'd let you know that we are in the Community Shield because I know Arsenal aren't. You know, I just thought I'd remind you.
I need a break. Yeah, I need a break. I'm doing what the F1 do.
I'm not naughty. How dare you, sir?
Vettel disqualified, Stephen. Yes, it's disqualified. Yes. So it could be all vital at the end, but yeah. So if I was to ask Leicester fans how it all would end up, as the season would end up, what would your prediction, Chris, be for the season? The top 6.
Oh, not just where Leicester are, the top 6.
Yeah, the top 6.
Yeah. Okay. I said this a few weeks ago, and it would be wrong of me to sort of change my mind, but I actually had Chelsea top, Man City second, probably Man United third, and then Liverpool, and then Leicester. I'm not sure about 6, to be honest with you. It depends. No, I don't think Everton can do it. Probably West Ham again. Spurs might just manage it. I can't see Arsenal. Sorry, mate, and I mean that seriously.
I've got no qualms about that. Prick.
Have you asked me about the bottom 6? Well, you know, I can.
Oh yeah, all right. Come on, come on. Brad, how would you see it playing out?
I know I've done
in a minute.
It's kind of had a bit more time to settle in. I've kind of seen what teams are doing in the transfer window. I don't know, there'll probably still be a few deals that get snuck over the line late on. There might be a dramatic couple of transfers in the next couple of weeks. But for now, the way teams are set up, the way they're going off again, top 6, assuming the signings that are practically waiting for the ink to get dried and finished, like Varane to Manchester United and stuff like that. I think the top will be Man City. I just can't look past them winning it. I'm sorry, I just can't. I think this obviously is all dependent on how they hit the ground running. If they're hitting out the ground how they're supposed to and bring to the clubs what their class has shown elsewhere, which I know obviously isn't always the case. I've got Man U to go second. I think Chelsea to come third. And I think this is a season where Jurgen gets his first test, because I'm going to go bold. I'm going to put us there. I'm going to put Leicester 4th. I'm going to say Leicester 4th, Liverpool 5th.
I'm not swearing at you, by the way.
And I can't see Spurs being there, especially if Kane goes. If Kane goes, forget it. Stephen knows. I've put the quid. I've put a quid for laughs. I've actually put £1 at 50 to 1. A decent price for me, I think, on Spurs to get relegated if they lose. I put a quid on it, right, just for laughs. But I honestly don't think they're going to make Europe, especially if Harry Kane goes. And I think that's how Arsenal will get a back door back into Europe.
I laugh if Kane leaves, they actually do get relegated. So...
Mate, I'm not missing out on another chance from money, some ridiculous thing, right? It's 50 to 1. It was a free bet. I took it. It's not a North Macedonian moment, Chris. It's just a banter bet. Before you give me anything.
Yeah, with your predictions, mate, I wouldn't, wait for that to cash in. But I'm
going to retire with my £51 when it happens, mate. I'll be there.
Do you know what? No, with Man City, and I put them to come second because I think Chelsea would have run Man City a lot closer had Tuchel been there from the start. But I honestly would just love them. I do my Kevin Keegan bit now. I'd love them to spend all this money and then not to win anything. No disrespect, and I don't wish Grealish any harm, but yeah, spending 100 million on him, and he gets an injury in week 2, and he's out for the rest of the season. It'd be great. It would be great, and as I said, I don't wish any bad luck on Grealish, but I just love it.
You won't think it.
Yeah. I don't want any bad luck on you, but I hope you break your legs.
Yeah. I didn't say that. I just said an injury.
Well, it's basically a career end.
Yeah, you basically said just have 9 months on the sideline when you get there, mate.
Yeah. If you
break your legs, they spend all that money and then it all goes tits up. It would be great. It would be great.
If you break your wrist, if you break your legs, well, I'll make sure you probably look after on the bench. Get you the best therapy in the world. But yeah, my prediction would be Arsenal win the league. No, shit, fuck. I might as well do it like a Leicester bet, like put £1 to 1, like 2,000 to 1 or something. That's the thing.
Hey,
Arsenal would never get 2,000
we won it
to
at
1
5,000 to 1, mate.
No, but here's the thing: Arsenal would never get you're in that season. You still have more chance of winning the league than Arsenal has a chance to win the league now, right? This season. So why is it we're not 5,000 to 1 or something?
I think
why not?
I think when I checked it, bearing in mind I did mine pretty early on in the season, but I think at the time you guys were 50 to 1 at one point.
To win the
just
league?
50 to 1. Yeah.
Are they dumb?
They obviously know that if anyone doesn't understand betting there and wants to lessen it, right? If you put £10 on Arsenal to win the league at 50 to 1, you'll lose £10.
Yeah.
That's how the math works out, right? We all know that classic one. Yes, I've used it. I'll claim the copyright strike. It's all right.
Yeah, so I'd say Man City.
They're probably a lot closer now.
With the way, if I'm looking at the teams now, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Leicester, and then it's Tottenham will probably get 6th, and then we'll be struggling to stay into the top 7.
I can't wait. On Monday the 9th, you're coming on my show. You're coming on my show, Stephen, on the 9th, and you've got to predict where you're going to put Arsenal on the table. So
I've already said we're going to finish 8th.
That high?
But yeah, maybe even 9 or 10. Don't know.
Don't push the boat, Steve.
I know. a moment. It should be okay, but you're. Where do you think Arsenal will finish, Brad?
I actually think there's a lot more that needs to happen at other clubs to keep their push up, like West Ham need to do, and Everton. I think Arsenal have a chance if they do exactly what me and you've discussed many times on here, Stephen, which is they seem to be doing, is they get Saka on the pitch, Smith Rowe's just on a new big deal to you, and they use them players along with Willock and the rest of them to build the squad around. In a way, whilst it might seem a bit ridiculous, and you probably are talking about realistically an Arsenal fan base with sense might say, I don't think we can afford to be going to spend the 70 million demand on a player like Maddison. But again, you're looking at young English talent as well. If you really want to look at it in a finer detail, or maybe just look at the fact that it's young, promising talent, and you're kind of trying to find that middle ground where, yes, you might pay 50 million for Ben White because you want to get someone else in that's in the mix. If you can get someone like that who comes into your team, maybe in the nicest way, find your own £40 million player or £30 million midfielder and kind of stop trying to go for them ones that you're not going to get or you're going to struggle to get. And then you make the same mistake of putting the pressure all on a number and a player instead of an entire squad.
Well, you can tell we've just decided to sign
It must have been a reason you're interested in a player like Buendia. It must have been a reason you was interested because you wanted to get a sensible buy for sensible money, but still get quality.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we're interested
to be fair, we've we need someone to go next to Partey, and I think Arsenal, have given up because they've decided to try and offer Xhaka a new contract. That tells me they've given up trying to find one. If that's the case, then we're fucked. We're fucked. Simple as that. We've done absolutely nothing in the transfer window, basically. Then God help us. Right. It will like.
You definitely needed to get a centre back in, but unfortunately, I think you can thank us for the fact that Ben White's price is still high to put 50 million. For the last time a decent centre back came rolling around that was English, and look what he cost. Certain Manchester United. We're kind of a bit guilty on that part, but not my issue. We got our business sorted. Like
of course, Maisie would have front row seats, especially if I'm bloody on it. I'll end up having to like ditch halfway through. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the rest of the transfer window, right? Because obviously it's been extended to the 31st of August. But I'm not getting my hopes up.
I think it's really daft.
Yeah,
I think the transfer window could always close before the first game.
It did one season, and then we had the pandemic, which was just justifiable, to be honest. And then, like for this season, they've gone back to the 31st of August again. So
I mean, I sort of get it. It gives clubs a bit more chance to recover, maybe get some late deals that they wouldn't be able to financially afford. I do get it.
Euros, maybe as well.
Yeah, I just maybe think because I know it's. But the thing is, it's all going to change again next season. What with the World Cup, won't it, for next season? That's a whole different issue for a whole different season. But right now, I can understand why they're doing it, why they've allowed it. I just think it should also be something that is kept back to. Right, that's it. Whatever you win, if that's when your season starts, sorry, no deal, no can do, no dice.
Was it last season? There was one season, unless we were actually playing a game on the night of the closure of the window, transfer deadline day, and we were playing a game of night. I mean, it's bloody ridiculous. Brad's right. You should stop it before you play the first game, and that's the squad that you got then till January.
I mean, you say transfer window, but it's not a singular event, is it? It's not something that, you know, it's almost like what people have for their void. It's a void, isn't it? To have a transfer window when there's no actual football going on. It's what keeps your little addiction to this wonderful sport that we call football by having a transfer window. When the season starts, I don't want to. I can imagine it's exhausting at times for the players every year that get linked with a move away, and then 10 years later, a club and they're still getting linked with a transfer away. It must be tiring. So not be able to do.
I'm old enough to remember when we didn't have transfer windows. Unfortunately, I think it's one of the worst things that happened to football. Especially the January one, it pushes prices up, and in January you buy emergency players that you're stuck with for years, paying high wages that you don't really want.
Maisie told me what you did to him, right? With kebabs,
she moved on from garlic bread now. Then is she moved on to kebabs, Maisie?
No. Like he talks always like craving a kebab, so we just take the piss out of him. So, yeah, just glad to listen to it, seeing about that Arsenal. I thought, fuck that. It's gone to Scotland.
Yeah, we're choosy, Anthony. We're choosy.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to wrap it up there. So, thanks, Chris, for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, mate. Remember, no matter how bad it gets, trust the process.
I'm going to say this especially for you.
Hold on. Luca, are you sure you haven't got a pair of teeth and a tongue in your ass, mate? Because he's very good at talking.
Are you mad?
I won't stay up. Hang on. That's too
he won't stay up. He's come and join the party, so fuck it. We'll carry on for a little bit longer.
Hey, boys.
Hey,
Brad. We finally meet. I'm good, man. Yeah. How are you? How are you, boys?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'm all right. Like Hamilton, I'm loving life of Hamilton.
We're just occasionally abusing Arsenal whilst occasionally just obliterating Spurs in between.
It doesn't bother me because you're not spoiling my day, right?
No, Arsenal are not for you, so we just like to cheer you up.
You're not spoiling my day in any way.
I just want to say, Steve, to Brad and Chris, I have to, trust the process. Yeah, trust the PR process. The PR
process. Yeah.
The PR process. Yeah.
Yeah, the PR process. Yes, the PR process. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, you got love.
To be fair, I've always defended the fact that your manager's the only manager that puts the cones out backwards.
Can I just ask? Isn't it weird how Hamilton's so positive, like for a guy who supports Arsenal?
Yeah.
Just remember, the most important thing is how bad has it been an Arsenal fan at the moment? Are Arsenal fans disillusioned, drama queens, or genuinely hard done to? That's the question.
You're promoting again.
We are a bit of both. We are a bit of both.
Self-promotion.
A bit of both. Yeah, we are a bit of both.
Chris is on fire. He can't stop self-promoting. Chris is on fire.
But yeah,
don't make that conference number one.
That's going to be interesting. 3 Arsenal fans on. To be honest with you, I didn't know Arsenal still had 3 fans. I'm quite impressed.
Chris, can I ask who are the 3 Arsenal fans?
Arsenal, not the empty ad. Let's get it right.
The empty ad.
Yeah, go back.
Chris.
I mean, to be fair to Man City, they've been social distancing before it was cool.
Amazing.
No European spot process.
Big love to everyone in the live chat.
Amazing, man. Leave it.
Before I join, boys,
you do realise that,
Chris, I saw you.
All I'm thinking is, don't start that. Arsenal actually got out of Europe quicker than we Brexited. That's the impressive thing.
Hang on a minute. We're already hang on. It's
hang on.
Before, officially
hang on, we're already out.
Whoa. Hold the phone.
It took us about 3 or 4 years to finalise it. You managed to do it in one season, mate.
Whoa. Get out of it. It's taken a
Don't tell Arsenal won anything. I get it.
I'm dying, boys.
It's taken 17 fucking years.
Yeah, I'm gone. Chris.
Oh,
I've loved this pre-season more than any other pre-season I have known.
Arsenal has been in and out of Europe faster than COVID-19.
That is savage, Maisie.
Oh.
She got the garlic bread and she loaded it with
this
bullets.
might need to come off air before this gets wrong. This will get worse.
Maisie, man, you already cut me up. Don't end up cutting us up even more.
It's definitely the garlic bread with extra jalapenos, boys. Spicy.
Yeah, at least.
What else has she got in her fridge? This is the question.
Should you be asking that?
Probably not a pot of law.
I'm asking on behalf of Talk. If he was here, he would be asking the question.
Well said, Tony. Great comment.
Great process. Keep the most of slow motion in midfield. Buy a player who's totally overpriced and overrated. Buy 2 unknowns and don't get rid of Deadwood. Yeah, I trust it all the way. Yeah.
By the way, Steve, I've got a question for Brad and Chris.
Lady.
Lady.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Okay, Steve, can I just ask a question for Brad and Chris? Who are your all-time favourites Leicester players? Mine personally is Muzzy, is it? Because I think he's a great player and I love his name. I
don't think you'll get much argument off Brad with that one, will you, Brad?
What about you, Brad? What about you, Chris?
Oh, I'll let Chris
go first. You go first, Brad?
No, you go first, mate. You've got this.
Oh, Chris has been inflicted by a ball patch.
Why didn't he go wear a hat? My all-time favourite Leicester City player, Keith Weller, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Head and shoulders.
You can't see it.
I thought you were going to say Martin O'Neill, Chris, but fair enough.
Can't see it.
He's the manager. He wasn't a player.
Oh, you never played? Okay.
No, not for us, no.
Well, for me, it's a difficult one. There's probably more reasons behind my choice personally than who I actually saw play live for Leicester, because I know there's probably been, and there has been players that were greater than the player I picked. It's more the fact that I always try and pick players that I've at least seen live play a handful of times. And my Leicester City all-time great is Casey Keller. I became a keeper.
Goalkeepers Union, Brad.
What was that, mate?
Goalkeepers Union there, mate.
Yeah, I'll have that till the day I die, mate. I
will never understand why he went from Leicester to Tottenham. Casey Keller. Hang your head.
We got him from Millwall, so he knows how to go and downgrade himself.
Cheers, Steve.
Possibly.
No worries. We're gonna have to end it there. We're gonna have to end it there anyway. But make sure to.
Yeah, you got to check your fridge out, haven't you, Steve?
No.
We're never going to be invited back on again now.
Yeah.
Nah, you're banned. You're banned. Yeah. Well, Chris is banned.
Oh, thank you.
Is it because he's wearing his wedding outfit?
I'm going to write a tell-all what Stephen has in his fridge. The secret of Stephen Flatley's fridge.
Featley, get it right.
Sunday Sport special.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Loads of mayonnaise, guys.
See if you can't get an outro.
Yeah, Brad.
Fucking hell.
Chris is making me hungry now.
Yeah, hit the share button. Make sure to share it on the socials. Get more people to subscribe because it all supports Children's Liver Disease Foundation.
Yeah.
Join the membership as well. As $1.99. It's a monthly donation show charity as well. And we are back tomorrow with the back pages, as well as more of as well as more carnage and mayhem with another preview. Shut up. Until then, make sure to stay safe, stay well, and we'll see
the news is my
soon.
favourite.
Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.